shaping up to be pretty odd. Little Dusty Music.
Hello everybody, I'm Vivek and this is my room. Alright, so as many people know, my first episode of Buried Treasure was on a CD review, which was Pinkerton by Weezer. Most people consider it a sophomore slump, as it wasn't as successful as the first one, both critically and financially, but over the years it's gained a lot of critical acclaim, and I was a little late on making that video calling it Buried Treasure, because now a lot of people, before I did my video, already did consider it a buried treasure. But I felt it was important to talk about underrated music that no one seems to appreciate. So, again, I'm doing a CD review. But this time, this album isn't that old. Today marks the 2-year anniversary of the release of one of my favorite albums of all time. And I really like this album too. Pretty Odd by Panic! At the Disco. Now I know what a lot of you are thinking. Fag, loser, douche. And I always wonder why. Why do people have such a problem with Panic! At the Disco? I get that the fans are the teenage girls with all their eyeliner and all that other stuff, and the hoodies and the tight pants and the stuff. I understand why people seem to criticize the ramen bands. If you don't know what that means, I mean the bands that are on the record label Fueled by Ramen or Decay Dance, Naked Dance, I don't know what it is. But because there are a lot of great bands that came out in this decade. One of my favorites being Fall Out Boy. Now I know a lot of you are thinking, you're stupid. It's like, really? What's bad about them? They write catchy tunes, they write great songs. Patrick Stump has an amazing voice. And overall, they're just a fun band. I don't see what's wrong with having fun. Everyone seems to have such a problem. I guess it just has something to do with the decade. Like, there's just the typical 2000s kid.
You understand the life and pain of the 2000s kid. The music just doesn't understand us anymore. Someone needs to just scream out the emotions of the angst I feel about the anti-conformity. And of course my vegan lifestyle. No one understands what it's like to be tormented and live in a white neighborhood where I'm taken care of my whole life, but I still complain about everything. No one understands what that's like. I mean, pop punk used to just complain about how it's hard not to find love, but my life's worse because I realized I grew up in a fake society and because I watched Fight Club too many times. Still, it's not fair that I live in this society where everyone takes care of me. Ugh. It's horrible. Music doesn't understand me, man. The music doesn't. It just doesn't get it.
Yeah, that's the stuff I gotta deal with all the time. Those kids are so annoying. But the point is that in the year 2008, Panic! At the Disco released an album called Pretty Odd, which, to be honest, was pretty good. Yeah, they were just missing a letter in the they took out a G right there and got rid of the E and put an O for this is pretty good. Actually, this is pretty fucking amazing. Now, let me tell you my feelings on Panic! At the Disco. When they first came out, I didn't really think much of them. I thought they had some pretty catchy tunes, and I thought they were okay, but they were a little dark in a way. Their first album, A Fever You Can't Sweat Out, was a very depressing and dark album. There were a lot of catchy tunes, and of course, a lot of cool techno sounds in the first half of the album. And the second half follows more of whimsical, more traditional instruments. But again, I can understand why people might find them annoying. Their song titles are very bizarre. Their girl fan base is ridiculously stupid, and I hate those fucking girls who like all these bands just because the members, I guess, are good looking, but I don't find them to be good looking. But the point is that shouldn't bother people from the wonderful music that these bands write. It just seems funny that today, in our society, music, according to the kids, as I like to call them, you gotta scream really loud into a microphone, play 1,000 guitar chords without any meaning or message, and just be loud. I mean, I can't call that talent, but I can understand what they're trying to do, but if kids really believe that's good music, they have problems. However, Panic! At the Disco's second album, Pretty Odd, is very, very well done. And I don't really know what else to say about it except the music is all great from the start to finish. 15 tracks, good amount of tracks for a good album. All the songs are individually different from the other. It reminds me of, it's kind of like an unofficial sequel to Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club. And there's no way I'm comparing the greatness of the Beatles to a simple band like Panic! At the Disco, but I'm just saying, both the albums share similarities, mainly because how like the Beatles went from really poppy "I Wanna Hold Your Hand" to, you know, really great music like "When I'm 64" and "Within You Without You." But this one was better because I think it went from that typical kind of depressing music that we're used to nowadays to a music genre that's really good. Now, kids, something you've got to understand is that, yes, playing guitar takes lots of work and talent, but it takes more talent to orchestrate a bunch of instruments such as trumpets, clarinets, flutes, even accordions, which is what these guys do. Now, I know a lot of people had to come in and play the instruments, but still, they had to write the music down on paper and work very hard to make those music notes, okay? Now, I give these guys so much credit, and that's why I think any classical music, or I don't know what to label this, I think it's like traditional kind of folksy music, but it took a lot of hard work to make this type of music over something that, honestly, most guitar players, it does take work, but it doesn't take that much work. I mean, I know it's hard, but it's not that hard, not compared to making classical music. And the thing is, it's hard to make a catchy tune nowadays. Like, everyone's trying to make the next biggest hit. And it's hard nowadays. I mean, if you listen to the radio, there's barely anything good on there. But these guys made 15 wonderful, enjoyable tracks. The album Pretty Odd is so enjoyable. I think my favorite song on this album is Behind the Sea. It's just a really well done song. I highly recommend you don't download this on iTunes, you buy the album, because it's so great and so much better. Now, of course, Panic at the Disco have recently, 2 of the members have dropped out, and they've released a song called New Perspective on the Jennifer's Body soundtrack, and that didn't sound pretty bad either. It was pretty good, but I recommend Pretty Odd to the fullest. It is one of the greatest albums I've ever had. I mean, I give it a perfect 5 out of 5. It's terrific. And I really wasn't a big Panic at the Disco fan until I listened to this album. And mainly because I had a more mature perspective on music when I was 17 versus when I would have been like 15 years old. See, a lot of kids just don't get it. They're kind of stuck in this slump that it's all about, you know, loud guitars and screaming into a microphone. You know, like the typical 2000s kid.
You just don't get it, B-Bake. You just don't understand the music, man. Well, of course, my favorite bands are Look at the Skies, Here I Come, and Oops a Daisy, I Just Untied My Shoe, are my favorite one. Alistana Machisimo, Awesome Screamo, where we just, it's just about the music, because music's different now. It used to be about stuff, but now it's about nothing. Like my soul in the teenage angst, which I'm gonna regret this style in another 10 years. Yes. Feel the pain I feel, man. Because life isn't fair. And Panic at the Disco don't understand, so I gotta say they're bad for everyone, not just my lifestyle. Because they're supposed to be a band for me. Because it's not fair.
I think what our generation needs is a good spanking for not appreciating good music, for just bashing artists who work hard to make catchy tunes, memorable songs, and overall just great music. To those people who just scream into a microphone and act like they're badass, I'm sorry, but that is the most untalented, mediocre piece of shit that I've ever heard is a screamo band. I mean, come on, kids. Have some self-respect for yourself. Listen to something good. It's okay. It's not bad to like something that's enjoyable and fun. It's okay. And the only reason these kids do it because they're trying to look cool in front of their friends. There's no way they can actually enjoy the screamo music. Now, hence, I do love when they're screaming in a song, like in a Hawthorne Heights songs or a Fall Out Boy song when Pete Wentz would grab the mic and scream, like in the song Saturday or Calm Before a Storm. And there are a couple Hawthorne Heights songs that I like that have that kind of edgy scream to it. And of course, I'm a huge fan of hardcore punk rock, like, you know, Rise Against the Dead Kennedys. Even though the Dead Kennedys didn't scream, Rise Against still has that kind of, you know, edgy kind of scream sound. But the point is, I think the kids need to, you know, kind of get their heads checked and, you know, maybe, I don't know, listen to some good music. The point is, Pretty Odd is an amazing album. I recommend it to the highest because it's really good. And that's all I gotta say. So buy this album, it's very good. I'm B-Bake, well, this is my room. Stay tuned for more episodes. Peace out.